Yeah. New breed. It's that vibe right there. Yeah. Let's get it. Dang. Okay. Listen. They be sending phantom vibes, preemptive attacks. I be reading from this word, break it down in some tracks. Bless your sons, we the battle wax. Jude about to snap. These devils losing time like celebrities losing their mind. Gotta keep it level. I getting tried through the fire. We the remnant of the lost tribes. You see it in our eyes. Let the prophets prophesy till the Lord cracks the sky. Having visions of cataclysms, collapse of this wicked system. People who used to believe in need of an exorcism. They used to be money hungry. And now they just power driven, a slave to a dream, and I just want to be free. The type of freedom you can't find just from running the streets. Travel the depths of my mind when I'm bumping these beats. This the ink of a scholar, jotted down and reflect. Salute to the bosses, it's all in respect. But if you waiting for me to fall, don't be holding your breath. You be knocking on death's door in need of a ventilator. We stand up and rise like we up on the escalator. I'm one with the Ruah, and nothing can separate us. It's nothing we can't do through prayer and supplication. Drop squad living, we ain't never looking back. Make them devils feel the pain, I'ma give them all that. See, the whole world was ours and we gon' take it all back. The whole world was ours and we gon' take it all back. Drop squad living, we ain't never looking back. Make them devils feel the pain, I'ma give them all that. See, the whole world was ours and we gon' take it all back. The whole world was ours and we gon' take it all back. Tell them heathens play with something safe, but don't play with me. Watch by these agencies, squatting in their vacancies. Soldier, this ain't make-believe, my whole city under siege. But we ain't waving white flags. Try my babies with a jab, you might catch a real jab. Plus I'm heavy with these hands, knock you on your wicked ass. Warrior priest, keep a rifle and preach. Ain't no code in the streets, just gorillas and anacondas. Monsters with loaded choppers on the guys, the CD poppers. The rise of the crime rate, fixated with murder. Got these young niggas irate. Dilapidated corpses flood the streets of the north. See, these devils got you cooked, poked with a pitchfork. That's a downward spiral, death culture, jigsaw. I'm courageous and pissed off, cause I'm tired of being ripped off. These rappers are cowards, they ain't stopping the violence. They rich, cold, and callous, while the souls are devoured. Drop squad living, we ain't never looking back. Make them devils feel the pain, I'ma give them all that. See, the whole world was ours and we gon' take it all back. The whole world was ours and we gon' take it all back. Drop squad living, we ain't never looking back. Make them devils feel the pain, I'ma give them all that. See, the whole world was ours and we gon' take it all back. The whole world was ours and we gon' take it all back. They watching and scoffing instead of getting things popping. I think these niggas is gay and need to come out the closet. How you hate on the next man that's fighting for causes? Make me sick to my stomach, make a real brother nauseous. But yellow tape, this is caution. I'm protected by Elohim. Move on to do better things or be part of this damn machine. Men don't deserve pity, complaining like whole blickies. I ride on my own terms, solo up in every city. And I ain't chasing women, you want me, girl, come and get me. Champion love maker, knock it right out the hinges and put something on your mind that'll change your whole existence. She waiting with patience, cause I'm working and so persistent, beating with passion, but they calling me sacrilegious. The whole world is watching and we the talk of the town, but we in it full-fledged, ain't no stopping us down. Let them lonely broads hate and keep your head in the clouds, cause it's on, hey, time to rise. One nation, 12 tribes, all about this life. Drop squad, and we living, and you know we steady shining our light. Yeah, it's on, one nation, 12 tribes, all about this life. Drop squad, you know we living, and we steady out here shining our light. Let it shine.
Yes, yes. Let it shine, let it shine. 12 tribes, one nation, and you know we steady shining our light. Yeah, it's on. Yes, all praises to the Most High, the God of Israel. We are back with another live stream, giving you some of that spiritual voltage that you signed up for. I see people rolling in the chat pretty quick. I see Leon Servant in the house, Brandon Jackson, Generals in the house, Kayla, Lon Diamond's in here, Ruben. What's goody? Sophia Love's in here. That's what's up. All praises. Jamie Rios, Nelly, son of Yah. Gavin is in the house. Candace is in the house. He says your music is really getting good. All praises to the Most High for blessing me with the utterance. If y'all like that track right there, you can find it exclusively on Patreon. And the song is called Drop Squad Living. It's from myself. And that track right there is speaking volumes. If you listen to that last verse, hey, man, that last verse spoke volumes in itself because, hey, it was talking about that togetherness of family. And it was about a woman getting out of her head, getting out of her bubble of, worrying about what other women think. Ooh, don't worry about what they think if we over here building family. If you got your sister wives, if you got, your children, if you got happiness, if you got friendship, if you got companionship, don't worry about what they think. Because a lot of modern relationships don't work. I got to be the bearer of bad news to you. A lot of relationships under monogamy in modern society just aren't working, especially as the pressure cooker is turned up, especially as we're looking at an economic collapse, especially as you're seeing a great divide between the people. A lot of it is not working because people need support. But we're going to get into it. Rollo on the 7 Talk. I see you, bro. Thank you for the $5 contribution. Says, let's get it. Our time to win more and more. Thank you, my brother. Salute to Rollo. Y'all go over there and subscribe to Rollo. We got to get this brother's channel up to 1,000 subscribers. He has lots of good content over there. He has some very reputable guests on the show. And it's a great show. And shout out to Cool Gents as well. Cool Gents 87. Man, we're going to be getting into it. Now, I know this is one of those topics. It's one of those topics that a lot of people either A, don't understand, or B, choose to be oblivious to the facts. They just choose to be oblivious. They choose to negate truth. You got a lot of people who are supposed to be Bible believers, but they want to go ahead and take certain portions out of the Bible because it doesn't fit their narrative. Got a lot of selfish people out there. You got a lot of people out there who are just not team players. You got a lot of people out there that don't want to see the greater good excel. Now, I want to talk about why polygyny is such a noble act in modern society. A man deciding to take on more than one wife is noble. It's a very noble act. And I'm going to explain why. I'm going to give you several reasons why. And we're going to go into the scriptures as well. Because contrary to popular belief, polygyny is totally lawful and biblical. If it wasn't for David having 4 wives, there would be no 12 tribes of Israel. Moses was given the law from the Creator, and he had 3 wives. David, when he committed adultery, the Most High God told David, if you wanted more wives, David, you should have asked me. Polygyny is never condemned in the Bible, ever. Not one place is it condemned. See, the Most High God is pro-life. He's pro-life. The first commandment known to man is to live fruitful and to multiply. So, regardless of your personal beliefs and how you feel personally, it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't hold any weight because the Most High God sees things a certain way. And we're going to get into that a little bit in this video. AR, thank you for the $5 contribution. Says, you ready to offend people, Breed? Question mark. Y'all hit the like button. It's going to be a banger. Fire. Thank you, brother AR. I appreciate it. And yes, many shall be offended. I actually had a sister that hit me up on Instagram and she was saying how I just love your videos. I love all your videos except for the poly ones. And I'm like, huh? Really? The poly videos are the best videos. That's why they get the less traction. That's why they get the less support. They're the most pro-life videos that I put out. They're the polygyny videos are the most tangible solutions for our people in the conditions that we are in. And those are the ones you hate? Well, you seem like a very selfish person. Somebody said, ha, for men. Shirley says, ha, for men. Well, we're going to talk about it. Because that right there is that's an issue that you don't see the benefit that women have from practicing polygyny. And this is why it's such a noble act, because it actually is more beneficial to the women. And we're going to talk about it. Polygyny is most beneficial to the women in this modern society. And this is why you're going to find out how noble it is to practice polygyny as a man in modern society. Enzo Thunderbolt, thank you for the $20 contribution. Says, love is key to life today. The manifestation of Jezebel is killing our love. Keep it up. You're shining bright. All praises to the Almighty. Thank you, bro. Thank you, Enzo. I appreciate that. Let me tell you something, brothers. In a society in which, and I'm going to go to some sources today too, but in a society in which sex, one-night stands, prostitution is so easy to come by, how deceiving a woman, manipulating a woman for sex is so simple to do in this modern day culture. Or just spending a few dollars and a woman doing whatever for a damn cash app. Lying to a woman, doing the wrong thing is always easy. Doing the wrong thing in general in life is always the easy route. Men going their own way, especially successful men. Especially successful men who are quality brothers. To do the wrong thing would be easier than actually take on more than one wife. In a society that's a microwave popcorn society. You can deceive women. You can lie to them. You can get coochie anytime you want. You can basically play these women 50, and it's easier to do that than to actually build strong foundations, to actually be confidants to women that you deal with, to actually lead women that you deal with. It actually takes a lot of nobility. It actually takes a lot of courage, not only to be forthcoming with women, giving women an option, but then when you get these women, you're loyal to them. You love these women. You're providing for them. Y'all providing for each other. You're providing a lifestyle for these sisters in which they can heal from the wounds that the world then caused. Because now they have sister wives that they can talk to. Now they got a leadership in the household, in which a society where a lot of women don't know what it's like to be in a home where there's a man leading it and being a provider and being a king. They get that. They get the benefit of that, and they get sister wives to help them with some of the emotional wounds and scars that they may have experienced in life. It's a noble act. Israel, thank you for the $10 contribution, says, if Yah's perfect will got him, Adam and Eve versus permissible will, which means allowed, where in the scriptures does it say Adam and Eve is God's perfect will as far as marriage? See, you're adding things. A lot of people don't even understand the concept of Adam and Eve in its totality. If Adam and Eve were literally the only people here, right? If Adam and Eve were the only people here on the planet, when they had their son Cain and Abel, when Cain slew Abel and he went into hiding and they said that people were looking for him, how did the other people get there? When he had to go into isolation, if he was found by other people, he would have been destroyed. Who were these other people and how did they get there? See, you really don't understand the concept of Adam and Eve, first and foremost. Secondly, you just ignored the fact that the 12 tribes of Israel were brought to you by a man who had 4 wives. So you're choosing to ignore the facts. You're trying to make one seem better than the other. And that's the only issue I have with people who want to practice monogamy. If you want to practice monogamy, then so be it. If it works for you, don't try to make one better than the other and add your own context to scripture. Don't add to the word. The Most High God didn't make mistakes. Now, in this society, it's noble for a man to take on more than one wife. And I'm going to go into some sources. Share my screen with you all. Fair use. Federal law allows citizens to distribute portions of copywritten material. Shout out to Non-Mono Man TV. Shout out to Non-Mono Man TV. Lots of good videos over here. I really enjoy this brother's channel. And this sister right here talks about poly relationships work for those who have a nation-building mindset. And this is one of 2 videos that I would like to play from this particular platform today. So I'm going to give that brother his equal due for what he posts. So if you all would like to subscribe to the channel, go check the brother out. Hit the subscribe. He uploads a lot of good content. And a lot of the content, Jay Revelator, he says, I agree. Great channel. Absolutely. Now we're going to get into this because what she's saying, pardon me, is really, really, really interesting. And she kind of understands poly from a different mindset that a lot of sisters don't really get. Let's play this. Hold on, let me make sure we don't experience any echo. Let me know if it echoes, ladies and gentlemen. I think I shared it correctly. I'm going to stop it and I'm going to share it again just to make sure. Just to make sure we don't experience the echo. Y'all give me one moment. All right. All right, that should be good.
Poly, but you have to see where the source of those thoughts came from, because that could have been a programming that you have to change. But really,
the programming she speak of is the Western world programming, the feminism agenda, the anti-life agenda. And it even goes in lines with the depopulation agenda, which we'll get into a little more.
Polygamy ain't for everybody, really, because if a man isn't truly like nation building.
If a man isn't truly in the nation building, and I like how she's gearing this towards men right now. I like how she's gearing this towards men because, listen, you have to be a man of good character. You have to be a quality man. And I'm going to say this right now. Quality men should have multiple women. There's no way that a quality man shouldn't have more than one woman to lead. Now, you have to have a certain mindset in order to do this as a man. This polygyny is not for men who just want to, quote unquote, bust a nut. It's not for men who just want to have sex. No, it's about men who have a purpose. It's about men who actually have a strong sense of morality, a strong sense of discipline, a man who doesn't begin to veer over the lines and get into lasciviousness and whoredom, a man who has a mission, a man who has foresight, a man who would like to spread generational wealth, a man who would like to have lots of children and live fruitful and multiply. It's not for a lot of these modern men. It takes a noble man. I want you to put it in a preference like this. Brothers, even if you have a relationship with one woman, somebody said too many deleted messages. I'm not being able to see that, but I want y'all to ease up on the deleted messages as long as nothing is coming across disrespectful. Moderators allow people to speak their mind, because if there's any questions that people would like to have, I would like to be able to answer those questions. All right, so just ease up on blocking people as long as we're keeping it respectful. Now, if it's trolls, get rid of them. You already know what to do with trolls. We're having an adult conversation. Now, brothers, you got to look at it like this. Agimo, thank you for the $20 contribution. He says, to those that use Deuteronomy 17:17 to dispute polygyny, the accurate Hebrew translation from the Tanakh translation of the scripture says, and he shall not have too many wives. So it was about what you can handle as a man. Thank you, Agimo. Thank you for sharing that. We're actually going to go into the scriptures as well. We're going to go into the scriptures that they cannot dispute, that they would love to dispute, but they just can't because it's very direct. It's very direct. But brothers, you gotta imagine this. When you have one wife, you know how women are. You have to divulge a certain amount of energy. There's a protection factor that comes over your woman and that you have to have as a man. So I want you to imagine having more than one woman. It takes a lot of courage and nobility for you to take on that particular energy. It's tapping into a divine masculine energy. All right, I'm going to continue. Let her say what she's going to say. And y'all make sure y'all get the thumbs up on this live stream. Even if you're in disagreements, if you can have cordial adult conversations, then, definitely show your support for this type of content that stimulates thought. All right?
And has a mission and a message that they want to put out.
She said it has to be a man who has a message and a mission and a message that they want to put out. That's very important. As a man, you have to be goal oriented, and you have to have a certain drive about yourself, and you have to think after you. You have to think about your children. You have to think about your legacy, your dynasty, what you leave behind. If you're a poly man, that has to be your thought process. Let's let her repeat that.
Has a mission and a message that they want to put out. It's no reason to be polygamous. So it's really
she said, if you don't have a mission and a message, and if you're not thinking of family, if you're not thinking of nation building, as a man, there's no reason for you to be polygynous. Because a lot of brothers, they'll hear these videos and they'll be like, oh, so the Bible shows us that we can have more than one wife. And they think of those things and they're like, oh, that sounds great. That sounds perfect, man. I want this woman and that woman, and I could take on this woman and that woman. Listen, a lot of brothers are not ready for that. You don't even understand how intricate it is dealing with various emotions. Dealing with different women. It takes a lot, bro. It takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of knowledge of self. And a lot of you brothers, you say you want that, and then when it's presented, that you'll find out that you ain't even ready for it. You think you want it because it sounds good. But if you take out sex, a lot of you brothers are not ready for it. Some of y'all may be physically ready, but if you take out the sex part of it, a lot of brothers are not ready for polygyny at all. So if you're a brother who, you need to know yourself, and I'm going to say this, as a man, dealing with more than one woman and having that relationship, you get to know yourself a little bit more. And this is why it's important to explore as a man. This is why it's important to talk to different women, even just on a conversation level. This is why it's important to have women that are simply friends that you can talk to. Because when you getting to know how women think and women how they are, you will know yourself more. You know what you can deal with and what you can't deal with. And that way you'll be able to communicate who you are to these women and what is required of these women that you get. Because communication is key. In poly, in any relationship in general, communication is everything. So you got to know yourself as a man. All right, let's continue.
Right. Do y'all have a different connection? Yeah.
Hold on, let me turn that down. She got that music playing.
Poppy says it's like having a whole bunch of daughters.
She said that her husband says it's like having a bunch of daughters. Now I know some people will be thrown off by what she just said. I mean, she could have used a better example, but what she's saying is, let's just put this out here in the nicest way possible, but direct. Having more than one wife is like having children, brothers. In general, women. This is the way I want you brothers to think, right? In general, women are very very much so like children. Very much so. And I mean that in the sense of women require different attention. Not every woman wants the same attention. Not every woman wants you in her face all the time. Not every woman requires a lot of affection and emotion. And on top of that, when you look at it like, okay, on a leadership position, when you are with your woman, right, and y'all in public, some of y'all fellas know what I'm talking about. You got to look out where a woman is walking. A lot of times women are not really looking at their surroundings like that. And you got to hold their hands and make sure they looking in the right direction. And you got to be on point. That intensity got to be there, because as men, you always watching what's going on around you. You always looking at your surroundings. You always paying attention. So it's the same thing that a mother would do with a child. That's the same thing. Like, and you really have, it's a lot of energy that goes into that. So you got to understand, being a leader, and women have certain things that you got to, as a man, be ready to fulfill. Certain wounds that they may need healing, certain talks that you may have to have, they're very much so like having children. So I understand what she said, but some women would take that and be like, oh, that's wrong. Why would she say that? She gets it.
Different relationship with each of your daughters. It's different, but it's still special.
She says like having different. Now I don't want the song to catch it, but that's pretty much the part of the video I wanted to go with her. I have another one I want to react to, and I have scriptures I want to go to as well. But she's absolutely right. She said it's like, it's different, but it's still good. The connections that you may have with these women is different, but it's still a good connection nonetheless. I seen a sister had a question. Let me see. See if I can go back to that question. Chrissy says, I don't agree with sex not involved. Sharing energy, time, resources, information, and children with more than one will tilt the scale to the majority that may not be correct. I'm leaving now. I really don't understand that comment. I don't agree with sex not involved. What do you mean by you don't agree with sex not involved? Who says sex is not involved? I don't understand what you mean. That makes no sense. Sharing energy, time, resources, information, and children with more than one. Well, what about these women who got more than one baby daddy? What do you feel about that? What about all these children out of wedlock? What about all these fatherless households? What do you think about that? What do you think about people swapping bodily fluids all over the damn world and no type of legacy or dynasty or generational wealth is coming from it. Very interesting. That's my question for you. Yep, somebody said STDs are rising. Facts. Yeah, I don't understand what I don't understand what she I don't understand the question. It is what it is. But we're gonna get into it. Caleb, thank you for the $2 contribution. Says breed is hard to find balance with polygyny. It seems like it's hard to find balance with monogamy for a lot of people. It seems like people are finding it hard to stay together with monogamy. Beautiful mystery. Thank you for the $8 contribution. Says not every woman that is pregnant is blessed. Was Jezebel blessed even though she was pregnant? No. Be careful, man. Be careful, men. I'm sorry. I don't understand how that relates to the topic, but thank you for the contribution. I appreciate it. And you know, actually, I do see how that's related. I see exactly how that's related. You know what? Let's evaluate that comment again. Not every woman that is pregnant is blessed. Was Jezebel blessed even though she was pregnant? No, be careful, men. You're right. A lot of women are carrying the seed of demonic men. So that's not a blessing. But every seed that is passed through a quality man, every seed that's passed through a quality man, a righteous man, a man of testicular fortitude, a man of truth, is a blessing. When the seed of the righteous is passed to a woman, that's a blessing. And see, here's the thing. I'm a firm believer that no life that is brung forth, that comes into this world, is a mistake. None of it is a mistake. Every life that comes in is meant to happen. Let me give you an example. A man has a quote unquote baby mother. I hate to use that word, but that's what it is in a lot of situations. A man has a quote unquote baby mother and it doesn't work out. They don't get along. The relationship becomes dangerous or volatile, toxic, and the man decides to move on, has another baby. If it wasn't for that man going to move on, having that other baby, that life would not be here if he was not to move on. Nobody moves on, looks at their child after moving on from a baby mama and saying, this baby right here is a mistake. Only people who look at a child as a mistake is irresponsible people who just out here living their life like it's their best life. And out here just having fun. That's the only people who look at babies as a mistake. Matter of fact, I got a scripture that ties into what I'm saying. Deuteronomy chapter 21, verse 15, it reads, if a man have two wives, one is the loneliest number that you ever seen. One, I ain't gonna get to sing it. Two, that's what the scriptures say. How much is two? Like, is that multiple? Let's just stop there at two for a second. Two, if a man, let's read it again. Sometimes I got to slow it down. I got to slow it down just a notch, right? This is the Bible we're reading from, Deuteronomy 21 and 15. If a man have two wives, one beloved and another hated, and they have borne him children, both the beloved and the hated, and if the firstborn son be hers that was hated, then it shall be, when he maketh his sons to inherit that which he hath had, that he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn the son of the hated, which is indeed the firstborn. But he shall acknowledge the son of the hated for the firstborn by giving him a double portion of all that he hath, for he is the beginning of his strength. The right of the firstborn is his. So the Most High God, he tells you how to deal appropriately. He tells you how to deal appropriately when you have a woman that you dislike. You may have a wife that you dislike and a wife that you love. Still, all in all, that firstborn son is still supposed to get the inheritance. So the Bible gives you direction on how to maintain having what you would call baby mamas. You are supposed to still look at that child as your inheritance, your heart. Israel, thank you for the $20 contribution. Says, Bree, with all due respect, I support this channel a lot. I never add to the word, nor did I try to make one man better than the other. It's okay to disagree, but I can't let no man tell me I understand a certain concept. I can't let no man tell me I understand a certain concept. Are y'all proofreading what you're saying? These comments that you're making, are you really thinking about what you're saying? Because Israel, you paid me $20 to say you disagree with the Bible. You disagree with the choice. How can you disagree with something that's optional? Answer that. Everything is not agree or disagree. Some things are just facts. And some things are an option. Either you accept the truth or you don't. It's not a situation whether you agree or disagree. I support this channel and I never add to the word, nor did I try to make one man better than the other. I don't understand that. Who added to the word? Who tried to make one man better than the other? Because I'm telling you that practicing polygyny in modern society, when there's a depopulation agenda against our people are being destroyed. A lot of our babies aren't even making it out of the womb. Here it is. You got all these impositions, including the, you know what, stopping generations from procreating. Yeah, because a lot of y'all don't know that's what's going on with that. You know what? Stopping generations from procreation. You don't even understand that this is all about depopulating the nation of Israel. And I'm telling you, it's noble for a man, instead of running around, smashing and dashing, pumping and dumping and dealing with various women and being a playboy, it's noble for a man, instead of doing that, to take on multiple wives and lead a family. So when you make a comment like one man better than the other, that makes it seem as if you one of these men who ain't worth shit. You one of these men who just want to go around and deal with different women. And yes, it does make a man better than a man who just wants to play around out here. This is about nation building. Our people are out here dying. It's noble for a man to want to live fruitful and multiply. Because when you got more than one wife, look at Nick Cannon. Look how many lives that man produced in just 2 years. So yeah, there are levels to the game. There are levels to what type of man you are. That's crazy. You paid $20 to say that. These brothers, these men these days, they really, I ain't gonna lie, y'all disappoint me. You men, that was a man that made that comment. That's very disappointing that a man made that comment. You want to be comfortable in living in your ways. Oh, shout out Black Male TV Advice in the building. Black Male Advice TV, pardon me, is in the building. All praises. It says, to all the anti-polygyny females in the chat, where's your husband? And why most of you have a pookie or the low hitting, a pookie on the low hitting it raw. How you in the truth but not a wife to a righteous man? That's a great question. Because a lot of the women who get on here and talk about being anti-polygynist, you don't even have one man you can call your own. You don't have that foundation. So you really should have a very open mind at this point. You should really broaden your horizons. You should really think a little bit deeper. Now, there's another video I would like to share with y'all. And let me stop this screen. Just to show you how noble it is and how some sisters understand the nobility of it. Some women understand. Some women get it. And I want to share my screen. I'm going to share this with y'all. This video here is very interesting. I didn't get to watch the whole thing because I kind of like my organic reactions to things, but I watched a brief portion of it. I'm going to go ahead and share this. Why I convinced my man to take a second wife. Why she convinced her man. Just to show you there's certain brothers who are in a comfort zone in which they don't want to take on another wife. She had to convince. Now I want you to understand this, brothers and sisters alike. This woman had to convince her husband to get another wife. She had to convince him, which goes to show that it can be an act of selflessness as well, because you have some men who get stagnated and you have some men who don't want to add on to what they're building. And then you have some women out there. There's a margarine of women who want to add on and want to build. So it takes a bit of adaptivity for a man to sit there and say, you know what, I'm used to just you, baby. Every man don't want that. That's what y'all got to understand. Every man does not want another wife, but it takes a certain level of mobility and selflessness to be convinced by his woman, like, okay, you know what? I see what you're saying. This is going to help the greater good, and I'm willing to do what I got to do. So I'm going to share this video. I'm going to chime in on the audio. Israel says $10 contribution. I literally just got dismissed from a righteous group for standing for this topic. And my fault, I'm at work. You said I added to the word. I'm agreeing with you. Okay, bro. Israel, he's correcting himself. Israel, that comment, I understand, but the comment I read, you just got to really proofread, because it seemed like you said the total opposite. And I read these comments thoroughly. So I appreciate you, bro. If y'all in the chat and you posting, be real clear about what you got to say. Be real clear, because I'm reading these thoroughly. Word for word, verbatim. Somebody said, it's funny that you say that standing tall for the femme after you had just got done saying these men disappoint me, but I have no judgment, for real. And yes, open mind. Yeah, that was based on the comment that I read. And a lot of brothers do disappoint me with how they think. So I'm not saying all brothers, but I'm saying some of these brothers out here do disappoint me. That's why this video is geared towards quality men. Quality brothers should have more than one wife. All right.
This video is going to be a little about myself, you know, how I was raised, how I chose that I wanted to live this whole, you know, polygamous lifestyle. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of insight of who I am and whys and stuff like that. So that's mainly what this video will be about. So first of all, again, my name is Angela and I'm 35 years old. Yes, I know I'm getting old. You don't have to remind me. I've got 4 children. My son is 18. Now I really feel old. He's away off in college. My other son is 16 and my youngest son is 11. I also have one daughter and she is 17 years old. Also, I am married and he has been my friend for over 20 years. We met in high school.
Over 20 years. That's a long time. How many sisters can say that they've been with a man for 20 long years? And this microwave popcorn society that we in now. And if you can imagine, after 20 long years, you know, her common sense began to kick in. And she was like, you know what? After 20 years, we're going to need some help here. I'm going to allow her to carry on.
And I was a freshman, and we met at the basketball game. So it's kind of like little, you know, high school sweethearts, but not, because I didn't like him. You know, he was just my friend, and we became really good buddies. And then over 11 years ago, we got together and, you know, decided to marry and be together and live our lives together and stuff like that. So known my husband for over 20 years, and we've been together for 11 years. Now, growing up, I lived in a traditional lifestyle. You know, I went to work, I went to church every Wednesday.
So she grew up in a traditional household, more than likely. I want to fast forward to the part where she's convincing her husband. All right. Y'all bear with me.
And I turned the TV on and I started watching Sister Wives. And it was actually February 2011 when I started watching them. And the first show, I was just like, what is this? You know, this is crazy. But also amazing at the same time. I was just so intrigued. So I finished watching it. And after that, I was just like, okay, don't jump the gun here, Angela, but this is the way I'm going to live, you know, for the rest of my life. So anyways, I decided to start getting a little bit more educated about it. So I started watching Big Love, and that was an awesome, you know, show to me as well. And then I started reaching out to other people that lives the same lifestyle.
And that's what you do. You know, you go to people who have experience in that area. And that's what she did. It immediately caught her attention. Agimo says polygyny doesn't just work for the man. It works for the woman too. If she gravitates towards a righteous man who serves the Most High in spirit and truth, absolutely. And let me say this as well. What makes it so noble for a man to do in this time that we living in, a lot of these women, without the addition of a man of clarity, a man of substance, a man of character, a lot of these women, they on a one-way trip to destruction. We talking about these 2/3 women right now. A lot of these 2/3 women, listen, if it wasn't for you brothers pouring into these women and leading them, or at least giving them your attention, you will watch them self-destruct. Straight up, if you leave them alone to their own devices, you're going to watch what's going to happen. And a lot of you brothers got to understand, a lot of these 2/3 women that you chasing after, they really don't have nothing to offer you anyway. Stress and sex. That's it. And this is why it's important to allow these women to gravitate towards you. Allow these women to gravitate towards you. Because I'm telling you, those women out there, they already have made up their mind they're going to serve Satan. They already made up their mind that they're not going to be led by a man. They're not going to be led. And if you leave them to their own devices, watch them be destroyed, brothers. So you even giving these women attention in this day and age. Brothers, you're the prize. You giving women attention in this day and age and still have a pure heart, willing to lead these women, willing to take them on, not just out here trying to hit and quit, not out here trying to dismiss these women or use them for sex, but you still have a heart. When the love of many is waxing cold, that makes you a prize, brothers. And if a woman can't understand that and begin to gravitate towards you because you're a real man, the hell with her. You don't need them. Anything else is just unacceptable. Black Male TV Advice says it's an embarrassment to see people claiming to be in the truth fight against polygyny, yet the 12 tribes of Israel was born from polygyny. Jacob had 4 wives. Our women today are wicked. Absolutely. And that's why I'm very careful about sisters claiming to be in the truth, especially if they come wielding the Bible. A lot of the times, brothers, I tell you right now, don't deal with religious women. When women are like overly religious and they just Bible toting, let me give you this scripture, that scripture, I ignore those type of women. Those are some of the most closed-minded, possessive women in the world. They think they know more than the man, and it's a recipe for destruction. I'm being straight up. It's a recipe for destruction. What you want is an open-minded woman. You got to understand, listen, without a woman having a king or a covering, they're wicked. I said it. Unless it's a woman who has, been widowed, or she's looking for that righteous man and she's being active and doing what she got to do, or she's supporting the word of God in any way. She's supporting brothers in truth, her leaders, her preachers, her pastors, or whatever. Unless she's supporting them, or she's actively looking for a righteous man, or she's widowed and decide not to remarry, then most of these women out here are just wicked. Straight up wicked. And without a man, they're going to stay wicked. As a man, you pouring into these women. That's why it doesn't typically matter. It does. Now, of course, use discretion here and discernment. It don't matter how many scriptures she can tote. It don't make, to a degree. Listen, this is a Gentile woman on the screen right now. A Gentile woman with an open mind. You want a woman that's open-minded, easy to talk to, a woman that can communicate, a woman that's cooperative. Sometimes that doesn't coincide with a woman being religious. You don't want a woman that's rooted in her ways. And it's crazy. And the brother Ringo brought out a great point. Like, they'll ignore what the scriptures say. They'll just ignore it because it doesn't fit their narrative. Even though you can go to Exodus 21:10 and it says, if he take him another wife, that gives the notion that he's taking on two wives. The Most High God gives laws regarding polygyny. If he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall not be diminished. Meaning, if you take on another woman, you want to make sure that her duties of marriage are still there. She's still provided for. You want to make sure that you're still taking care of the woman that you had before. You don't just get another wife and begin to just leave her alone. Somebody said, New Breed, you talk real talk. Continue to spread the good news. Thank you, bro. Thomas Bauer, thank you for the $10 contribution. I appreciate it. I seen another comment that said I'm contradicting myself. In what way? It's interesting. People will say things, but they don't explain themselves. If anything I said is a contradiction, then you say, hey, New Breed, I feel like this is a contradiction. And you say what I contradicted myself on. I mean, I just don't get it. All right, let's continue.
Wow. So now, fast forward to now, which is 7 years later, I now have the absolutely most amazing friends that live plural marriage. And
yeah, look how happy she is. She's glowing. She has the most amazing friends. And you know what? In this day and age, why is it that a lot of women don't get along? They have the fear that your homegirl is going to want to get with your man. Moonbeam says this woman has low self-esteem. And how did you gather that? She convinced her husband to get another wife. She could listen how idiotic some of these modern women are. Like, that's so dumb. Moonbeam, that's stupid. She has low self-esteem, but she's the one who convinced her husband to get another wife. Wouldn't that mean that her self-esteem is high? So stupid. Doesn't that mean she's confident in herself? Doesn't it mean that she has a level of, she just has a level of confidence because she's not worried about another woman moving in and taking all her shine. She know what she got she know what she got going on. Brothers, you have my permission to deal with Gentile women who can see the light of day. You have my full permission. A Gentile these days is somebody who is evil and wicked. A Gentile, for me, is a person who don't want to follow the men of the Most High. That's what's wicked for me in this day and age. That's a Gentile. Ain't got a damn thing to do with skin color. Ain't got a damn thing to do with skin color. Do what you got to do. She says, you're not God, new breed. Never said I was God. I'm speaking to the brothers right now. If these women don't want to get right, make sure they get left. Get you a Gentile woman with an open mind if you have to. Quote me on that one. Because as long as she's following what your belief system are, and she's not putting up Christmas trees and pagan holidays, listen, there are Jake women out here who are Gentiles. There are Jake women who are Gentiles. There are Jakes that you got to argue with about pagan holidays. If a Gentile woman will follow your lead and you want to make some little mulatto babies, then make some babies. Yeah. That part. Straight up, man.
And I got to get educated through, you know, their eyes and the way they live, and asking them so many questions, reading books, reading, you know, things up on the internet and watching shows and stuff like that.
Now, you see, this is what this woman did. She was interested. She did her research. She didn't just go out and make blanket statements to brothers teaching truth. She didn't just go out and make blanket erroneous comments because they disagree with it. No, she actually did her research. She actually studied to show herself approved, to see if that's something that would help her life, instead of going around name calling. And she's actually smart. She's actually a smart person. That's what smart people do. And if they don't understand something fully, if something is confusing to them, they actually do the research on it.
So I feel that I really got to know a lot about it before saying, okay, this is the way I'm going to live. So after that, I brought it up to my husband. And I mean, come on, what man wouldn't want two wives? Yeah, I was shocked.
See, he didn't want it. That's why I say it's a noble act. Some men are very, very comfortable in monogamy. And she was kind of thrown off, like, wow, what man would not want another wife? And listen, some men just get comfortable. To some men, it's just too much. That's why I say it's noble. To some men, it's just too much. They don't want the whole rigmarole of getting to know another person. They don't want to deal with you know, it may even be performance issues. It may be a performance issue. Moonbeam says maybe she's bi. Maybe she wanted a sister wife. She didn't say nothing sexual. Why does, see, here's the issue. Our minds as black, actually, that's not even I don't know if that's a black woman or not. So I'm not going to jump out the window and say that. But our minds in general are always in a damn gutter. This woman didn't say anything about sex. She said friendship. And I want Moonbeam, put her on timeout. Put her on timeout. She needs a timeout. She needs to sit and think for a second and listen. Now, let me go back a minute.
Thought about it before.
Okay, I see where she was at. She was talking about her husband really didn't want it. Some men are not ready for it. Some men, they just happy and they stagnant, they comfortable where they at. But it takes some, he clearly, the man compromised. He compromised. All right, let's go.
Saying, okay, this is the way I'm going to live. So after that, I brought it up to my husband. And I mean, come on, what man wouldn't want 2 wives? Yeah, I was shot down pretty good. He's just like, no, that's not the way I was raised. That's not being faithful or loyal, or, having 2 wives is just.
He was probably worried about his family. He's probably worried about the Western world programming. He's probably worried about what people would say. Ak Malik, thank you for the $5 contribution. Says, I had the wrong definition. I admit my bad. I'll sit back and let you talk what you know. All right. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. Yeah, a lot of people confuse polygamy and polygyny. Polygamy is when people deal with when both parties involved deal with multiple partners. Polygyny is biblical, when man have more than one wife. Maxie says, poly don't work for men that hate women. If you believe a woman should agree with this lifestyle because she had multiple partners already, you're missing the point. I don't understand how that goes into hate. Why is the word hate being brought up? Poly don't work for men who hate. Wouldn't it be the total opposite if a man is actually playing a confidant, a provider, and a lover of multiple women, and keeping them and leading them and giving them children and giving them friendship and family? Wouldn't that go into more so loving women than hating them? And yes, if a woman has the point of me bringing up the fact that women have multiple baby daddies, the point of me bringing that up is because a lot of women don't seem to have an issue with that. It's contradictory to say a man shouldn't have more than one wife when you see women with multiple child's fathers. That's disorderly. So the problem is you're trying to make something disorderly go against something that's orderly. Oh, she says she's responding to Black Male TV advice. Well, still, I answered the question.
Not okay. In God's eyes, to him, it was just one. But to me, when you go back into the Old Testament.
Yes, when you do what, sister?
With, Abraham and, other kings.
Why the hell does she know the Bible better than these sisters in the truth? Why? Y'all women got your hair wraps. Shalom, brother. Kwam Yasharala, brother. How the hell do this Gentile know the Bible better than you? Huh? Goodness gracious. How does this Gentile woman know the Bible better than the daughters of Zion? What are we witnessing here? Brothers. We have a real conundrum here. We have a real conundrum going on right now in society. We have an issue. Groshen Vaughn, thank you for the $50 contribution. I appreciate it. Says, New Breed, keep up the good work. I started studying the Bible with your help. God bless you. Thank you, family. Our women should absolutely be ashamed of themselves. That they thinking with the PUSSY so much that they want to possess a man, and they will go so far where they would attack the Bible itself, where they would go so far to use the truth to fit in certain social circles, but at the same time, simultaneously hide the word of God because they worried about some DIC. They worry about where the DIC is going. You should be a damn shame to yourself. Transparent Pill, thank you for the $5 contributions. It's harder to get the women to convert than to get them in a polygyny-based marriage. Yeah, but these women don't mind being side pieces. They don't even mind having orgies and threesomes. That's how dysfunctional these women are. They will deal with, they will compete for the Pookie and Ray Ray. They will compete for the rappers. The rappers who hate women, they will compete for them. They won't compete for no righteous man, but they'll compete for the wicked man. And they'll have threesomes. Hey, listen, you'll have 20 women up in a damn tour bus. 20 women in a tour bus doing God knows what, the Blueface, doing God knows what, the T.I., doing God knows what, the Lil Wayne. All in chaos. They good with it. They bit the fruit. But when you're talking about family, growth, development, legacy, when you're talking straight up Bible, how nations grew into power, how men became kings through lineage and bloodline, these women will stand in the way of purpose because they worried about owning a man's soul. No, this can't be right. This Gentile know the Bible better than a lot of these sisters.
Having two wives is just not okay. In God's eyes, to him, it was just one. But to me, when you go back into the Old Testament with, Abraham and, other kings, they lived it. They lived plural marriage.
Why you women won't open your damn Bibles? Don't come to me with shalom if you ain't pro-poly. Don't tell me how powerful I am in the truth and you ain't pro-poly. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Yep, somebody said it. Solomon had over 700 wives. That's a fact. And a lot of these sisters, they would like to use Solomon in order to negate the fact that Solomon went wrong because Solomon went outside of what the Most High's confines were. He was dealing with women that were Gentiles in the sense of they worshiped different gods. They had different practices. He went so far off, he built a bull in the middle of Jerusalem because he was dealing with women who are in different practices. Now you got Jake women, Israelite women, quote unquote black women who are dealing with idol gods, dealing with tarot cards, dealing with sun worship, dealing with psychics, dealing with occultism, dealing with all sorts of different gods. Those women are Gentiles. Those women are Gentiles. This woman is more in the fold than women of our own diaspora. Somebody said 3 wives is the magic number. Hey, you never know what the number will be. And that's right. Get them likes up. That's right. That's right. And this year, y'all going to be seeing my wives. Y'all going to be seeing them actually come on these panels and talk. So y'all can really get an understanding. Oh, this is the year. Yeah. Uh-huh. This is the year where you're going to see sisters of character stand before you and speak on this platform. Yeah, you'll see it this year. You'll see, and I protect my wives at all costs, but my wife's gonna be able to speak on here. Maybe I keep it for Patreon. Yeah. Maybe I keep that for Patreon. Telling you. Our women got a lot to learn.
They had multiple wives, but even then, again, it's just by choice, how
It's by choice. So stop arguing a choice. Do your damn research. You don't want to go against the Most High. You don't want to go against purpose. You don't want to go against what he ordained or the rules and laws he put in place. It's better that you just shut up, because you will be held accountable for going against the word of the Most High. You will be held accountable for going in these chats, going against the words of the Most High without even doing your due diligence. Out of ignorance, you're trying to sway other women.
I feel that I really want to live. And, it's kind of sad. He shut me down. He's like, no. So I'm like, okay. So I backed off and
She backed off. What the Bible say? It says, win a man over through chaste conversation. And I'm paraphrasing the scriptures. When a man ain't in the truth, you win him over through chaste and modest conversation. You show that you are a wise woman. You deal with him with that nurturing care. And guess what? The man will come around 10 times out of 10. 10 times out of 10, if you deal with things and not just keep on nagging a man about something that you want, and you're very modest about it, the man will come around. That's what a lot of sisters need to learn. And yes, it is a choice, Chrissy. Eyes Open says no one in our society can embrace this biblical fact, especially modern women, especially modern men, especially because it's not understood. Thank you for that, Eyes Open Edify. And you're right. A lot of people just don't want to embrace truth.
it still continued to do my research. Then, a couple months later, I came back to him and asked
She waited a couple months. Real smart.
him again, and it was no again. So we did a lot of talking, and honestly, I think it was over a year that we talked, and we communicated about it. I just kind of wanted to educate him about it, and he would ask questions, and I would ask questions, and a lot of what ifs, and scenarios like that. And after having so much discussion with him, I was like, I kid in a candy store, he's just like, this is right, this is for us. So when we finally got on the same page, we were able to both put our hearts out there and start looking. So from then and on.
And that's how it should be. You're doing good. You got a good woman. You got a good woman in your corner when she's looking for suitable mates with you. And she like, hey, baby, I think she would fit in good with us. You're doing good when that's your situation. Black Male TV Advice says, notice it's her trying to get her man to have another wife. Wow, absolutely, bro. Absolutely. And that's the thing. Like, she knows that she needs the support. She knows that she needs the sisterhood. And that's how it should be within our nation, especially with all that's going against us. Think about everything that's happening to our nation, all the impositions, all the demonic attacks that's going on from the so-called powers that be. Our women should be running to us like, hey, listen, babe, we're having a hard time. Listen, with all that's going on in the world, we need to be able to build some wealth. We need to be able to make sure that we got some support. Our women should be running to us. They should be running to us like, yo, we got to find somebody else to help us, because we're the ones who are feeling the brunt of the world's aggression. We are the ones who are at the bottom. Don't you understand that dynasties and kingdoms are built through polygyny? Don't you get it? Don't you understand that governors, mayors, kings all come through lineage and bloodline? If you living in a town and you got 5 to 6 wives and you got 12 children, they all got your last name. Those type of people take over towns. Those type of people take over organizations. Those type of people start generational wealth and family businesses. Those type of people have to be respected because there's so many of them. My grandmother had 8 boys, 8 on my father's side. Do you know how respected those 8 boys were in school? Nobody messed with them 8 boys. Because if you stepped to one of them, you had to step to all of them. Why are we in a society right now where women want to stop standing in the way of purpose, bringing forth life? Black Male Advice TV says our women are anti-righteous men. That's a fact. They look at us as competition. Says they talk like they want a righteous man, but in actuality they choose Pookie. Absolutely. They're like to me, they're like dogs that go back to their own vomit, as the scriptures explain. Because they know dealing with a righteous man, there's going to be some change required. They know that some change is going to be required. See, righteous men are going to require change out of you. You don't want to change. You want to complain about the no good thug, but you keep running back to him for the you know what. You keep running back to him because he doesn't require you to change. He doesn't require you to be a better woman. You're comfortable in your own slop, in your own filth, in your own mess. So you go back to what you're used to. A righteous man ain't gonna put up with the nonsense. That's why they hate righteous men, because righteous men are a reminder that they ain't living right. And instead of them changing, which is hard to change in life, instead of them changing, knowing that they got to be suitable, knowing that they got to be feminine, knowing that they got to be servants, knowing that they got to be obedient, knowing that they got to be a man's rest, knowing that they got to actually care for a household, cook and clean, knowing that they got to be a support system for a man, knowing that they got to follow someone's lead, they negate and they shun the righteous man. And they look at him as competition because we threaten their way of life. You love what the kingdom gave you, what the demonic kingdom gave you. You love the fact that they gave you power. You love the fact that they gave you certain jobs, certain governmental assistance. You love it. You don't want the curses to be broke. You don't want the curses to change. You love the power that this satanic system gave you. Devon Adams, thank you for the $10 contribution, says Isaiah 4:1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. That's a fact. And you know, in the scriptures, when it says in that day, it's talking prophetically. It's talking about modern society, and a society where women can get out here and be resourceful. Back then, women couldn't be resourceful. They couldn't help build something. It was all on the man. But in this day, you got women who want to work. You got women who want to do certain things. It says in this day, women will take hold of one man, saying, let us eat our own bread. Let us wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach, which means our sin. Let us be called by that man to take away our trespasses against the Most High. See, women who are pro-polygyny, they understand that man is what makes them righteous. Having a king over them, someone who's guiding them and protecting them. They understand that when that man pours into that woman, that's what seals them. That's what ignites their conscience. That's what opens their pineal gland. The same way, let me tell you something. The so-called third eye, brothers, righteous men of quality. When you open a woman's vagina, when you open her womb and you go inside her, you're opening her third eye. While the eye beneath is opening, the eye above is opening. Because you are God in the flesh, brothers. Men, you're gods in the flesh. You're pouring into this woman. So when you open her up down there, you're opening her up upstairs as well. And everywhere she go, there's a covering over her. She's protected. There's an essence that you give in this woman. A righteous soul tie. You poured into this woman. You changed her physiology. You changed her DNA. Now listen, after she laid with you, there's certain angels that come around her now that she didn't have before you. There's certain angels that protect her that were not there before you. You going in her womb, you becoming one with her, it helped her, brothers. I'm telling you.
That's what I did. You know, I wasn't like hardcore looking or anything like that, but just, you know, here and there. I think it was for almost the last 3 years, we had been searching.
And it takes time sometimes. Sometimes it takes time. And brothers, I want you to know this too. If you are interested in polygyny, it has to be a time thing where you move on the Most High's will, and understanding that, brothers, you don't have a biological clock. Dr. Sabi having babies well in his 70s. You don't have a biological clock. You don't have to rush things. Sometimes you may have to have that talk with the woman you with and let them know, listen, I can't see myself with one woman for my entire life. There's going to come a time where I want to add. It may be years from now. I have time. Because you don't want to get in that spirit of rushing, because then you might create a problem for yourself. You going out there, you understand that yes, you have the biblical right, but don't just go at the first thing that come your way, and don't go at the first thing that you see that you're attracted to. Unless that person is really fits the puzzle that you have. Polygyny, I liken it to a puzzle. The puzzle has to fit. The pieces have to go together. It can't just be off of sheer attraction. Personalities have to fit, and things just have to go a certain way. All right.
Just actively all the time. And I've met so many amazing ladies that's become my friends to this day. But not someone, you know, that was going to be my sister wife.
See, she just looking with open-minded women. She has friends to this day, even ones that didn't become sister wives. Agimo, thank you for the $10 contribution. Says, we as men are taking responsibility the way Adam should have in the garden, and our women see the difference in us. We don't let anything suppress our masculinity, even the beautiful women we love. Absolutely. Thank you for that, brother. That was a great addition. Great comment.
And then we've met a lot of people just by talking to them, but it just wasn't someone that I thought that I can open my home to, and someone that I can live with forever, and someone that I can share my.
Notice she says forever, forever. See, poly isn't just a fling. It's not just to have fun. It's longevity. It's longevity. Forever, forever, ever, forever, ever. Look around. A lot of these women you see walking around, they gonna never experience that fulfillment of having sister wives forever, women that they can be entrusted in, that can trust their children, trust around their children, and they'll never have a man that they can trust in. Never. Most men are pre-genetically dispositioned to deal with more than one woman.
Kids with and my family with, I was just really closed with that because there's so much, you know.
She was careful. She was just careful about who she brung around, which is totally understandable.
Bad people out there and fake people out there, and I just didn't want anybody to hurt me. I didn't want anybody to hurt my children or my family and my husband. So I've been really picky and really cautious about it.
And see, in the biblical days, a lot of the times the women were the ones who went and looked for another wife. Because who will know what you desire, what type of woman you would like, what type of woman that would fit the puzzle for you? Who would know more than the woman that you've been with? Who would know more than the woman that you've been with? Eyes Open Edifies says, I think it's sad and a shame you had to use a video from the other nation to explain this. I do too. Eyes Open Edify, I agree with you. But you know what? A lot of these wicked ass women who carry the Jezebel spirit, they still not going to get it. They reprobates. They're not going to understand it. And that's why I told brothers off break, if you listen, a Gentile is not only a non-Israelite, but a Gentile is one who doesn't follow the laws of the Bible, doesn't follow the Most High. Gentile is one who serve other gods. A woman of your own color can be a Gentile, and a woman of another nation can be a suitable mate. Remember, Moses' wife was a Gentile, the one who was given the law. His wife was considered a Hamite. And not only did he have a Hamitic wife, but the Most High God plagued Moses' sister with leprosy for talking bad against that wife. Don't forget the scriptures now. Don't just try to negate the scriptures. Because I can see it now. People say, Nubri say you can date Gentiles. You can take Gentile women. Did not Moses' wife, was Moses' wife not a Gentile? Did Moses' sister not get turned into a leprosy for talking against Moses' wife? So all things considered, if our women ain't getting right, and you got a woman who follow the scriptures, regardless of her nationality, do what you got to do as a man. Do what you got to do.
So I've never opened my home, up to courting anybody or dating. Some people say courting and some people say dating. So that part was hard for me. Then to a few months ago in October, I met a woman and I was just like, I've just got to do this. I'm either going to put, my whole body and my soul into this, or am I going to put one foot in and one foot out and just, be wishy-washy?
Right. So I see where she's going. She did what she's supposed to do.
So I was just like, no, I'm just going in it. I'm going to dive in it and we're going to do this. So.
And listen, her family is happy. Make a long story short, her family is happy. They're going to be building generational wealth. I'm done with the video. Oh, Tammy T says, next video, please. This is annoying. I'm just saying, oh, it's annoying. It's annoying. Why? Why is it annoying? But you're sitting here watching it, torturing yourself with it. You can leave the chat altogether. It's annoying because it bothers you to hear a Gentile woman speak the truth. Because I'm going to tell y'all right now, the women, they know that they're dead ass wrong. You know you're wrong. Lachelle said exactly, this man is sad. Keep muting me. Who muted you? How could you be muted and you're not speaking? How could you be muted and you're not on the audio? Exactly, this man keep muting me. I'm not muting anybody. I'm not even blocking anybody. So this is your argument now. It's just annoying. Ignore the Bible, ignore the truth, ignore what's real. Somebody said, interesting conversation. She said, well, you put me on punishment. I didn't. Maybe one of my moderators did. And if they did, they had a reason. Devin says, me too was in timeout. That means you was talking crazy. And my moderators wasn't having it. Yeah, somebody said, don't complain when we stuck on stupid. Yeah, don't complain when austerity measures kick in. And you're going to wish you had a family. Yep. Azariah says polygyny is beautiful. That's what's up, sister. I'm glad to see some people sprinkle in here who got some common sense. Somebody said definitely it was a lot of trolling going on. Hey. But with all the evidence presented for you today, you had a woman trying to convince her husband to take on another wife. I gave you various points why it's a noble act in this day and age, in this microwave society where women are easy to have sex with, they're easy to manipulate too. You can lie to a woman and get some coochie. Hell, you can send a cash app and get some coochie. Hell, getting a one-night stand is easy. It's just it's a situation with swiping right or swiping left and tapping the inbox. Especially if you're a man of resource. Easy to get some sex. Easy to get some coochie out here. But it's very difficult for a man to deal with various personalities, lead these women, actually love these women, be loyal to these women, educate, edify, protect, guide, and lead these women. Takes a lot more energy, a lot more effort, and it's actually a noble act. So much so, a lot of men, they don't even want to practice polygyny. And some of them, when they actually have the opportunity presented to itself, they don't do it. They don't do it because they figure out, oh, hold on. It's a lot of work that come with this. I thought it was just going to be some freaky having sex all day, having fun all day. Hell no. If that's what you think polygyny is, you totally lost. If you think it's just having sex with different women all day, you don't understand polygyny at all. Polygyny is optional, but it takes a lot of nobility to do it. It takes a lot of integrity. It takes a lot of hard work. You ain't going to be laying up having sex all day. No, there's going to be work to do. A person who is in a polygynous union, he's going to have just as much sex as a person in a monogamous union a lot of the times. Maybe a little more, maybe less. It just depends on what your situation is. It depends on what you're trying to build. It depends on what's going on. Katrina says, you lost on this topic. I lost what? I have more than one wife. What did I lose? I'm getting along just fine. I'm speaking from experience. I'm not speaking just to be speaking. I lost how? I presented the evidence. I don't see nobody in this chat who is a scoffer and a troll who has successfully even acknowledged any of the points I made. And I'm watching. This is one of them videos I'm watching my chat. Because if there's anything that need to be said, don't wait until you hop on my comment section on playback. Say it. What point did I make? What point was made? What in this conversation can you address that you deem is unrighteous, wrong, whatever? Just say it. Say it now. Speak now, forever hold your peace. Because I'm not responding to negative comments in the comment section. Somebody said one wife be satisfied. Okay. I really don't see anybody. I'm leaving the floor open. I'm going to leave the floor open for a few minutes before I close out, just to see. I'm giving you all the time you want. What can you debate or argue about what you just witnessed? Especially if you're a so-called Bible believer. Now, mind you, this is a Bible channel. I speak about the totality of the Bible. I'm waiting. And don't block anybody right now. Let them say what they need to say. Somebody said the fact that you said men should have more. Wait, hold on. The fact that you said men should have more than one wife, that's where you lost. Number one, I didn't say all men should have more than one wife. I said a quality man should have multiple wives. A quality man should have multiple wives. That's what I said. Number two, that's not an argument. I'm disappointed, bro. I'm disappointed in how unintellectual some of these people are, bro. Just dumb. Just stupid. Just dumb for no reason. You lost because you said that that man should have more than one wife. That's where you lost. So when you said that, it was over off break. As soon as you said that, that was it. I mean, the ability of critical thinking, just the so Lachelle says, so the goal should be to get more men to be quality men. Absolutely. Lachelle, I agree with that comment. And that's what we do. We make videos to help a lot of men out. Matter of fact, a lot of brothers who watch this video are going to become more quality men, because you're going to have some brothers that listen to this and they say, you know what? I don't want to just go out here and hit it and quit it and pump it and dump it. I can actually produce a legacy if I just, instead of going on and moving about, if I just keep the women that gravitate towards me and work out something and build something. You're going to have some brothers who inspire to be a quality man after watching this, taking the road less traveled, taking that hard road. So yes, I agree with that. I'm still waiting. I want all the naysayers to come forth. I love to give people ample opportunities, because I want no stone to be unturned. And just saying blanket statements is not good enough. If you have an issue, address it. If you see a contradiction, if you see a flaw, if you see an error, if you're interested in poly, but you don't understand certain things, you got your ample opportunity before you just go out here in the comment section and make stupid ass comments. Because those dumbass comments you make may sway the thoughts of women who actually want to do something right, and you'll be held accountable for it. I don't want you to be held accountable. So ask your questions. Citizen Soldier says, nah, they won't address it. Right. Big King says, how many women in the comments are living by God's commandments? I'll wait. Facts. Somebody said, what about dispensations and what Paul said? What about dispensation and what Paul said? Diamond Gang, what do you mean? The word dispensation means chronological time orders. What does that have to do with anything? Diamond, what about dispensations of what Paul said? What does that even mean? What's the actual meaning of what you just said? Sometimes I hate reading this damn chat. Black Male TV Advice says, at Light Ray, do you love being hurt? Men are not monogamous. You're going to get with a man who is going to lie to you that he only wants you, and then you're going to learn that he had another woman. That's a fact. By nature, men are not monogamous. Naturally. It's just that a lot of men aren't honest these days. Eyes Open Edify says, women who have a jealousy spirit would not ever agree to polygyny. Absolutely. Lachelle says, that's why girls are doing what they are doing not now, because that's not fair. Are you saying that women are doing what they're doing now, sleeping around? By you saying, Lachelle saying, let me put this comment up. By her saying, that's why girls are doing what they are doing now, because that's not fair. So basically what you're saying, because people are righteously practicing polygyny, that's why women are being whores? That's why women are on Instagram with toothpicks or damn dental floss up their ass crack, shaking their ass for the world to see, having hot girl summers, because men are righteously doing polygyny. Get the hell out of here. No, the reason why women are doing what they're doing right now is because you got the demonic incubus men who has polluted these women. You saying it's because women, oh man, that's crazy. Brothers, this is what we got to deal with. Lachelle, you're going to have to be put on the chopping block. First of all, who is practicing real righteous biblical polygyny nowadays? Who is doing this the right way nowadays? What? Who's doing it the righteous way? Because the Bible and the Most High God created things to be a certain way where a man is not like a woman. You saying that's a reason for you. That's a reason for the women out here to be whores and sluts and prostitutes and tricks. That's a prime example of how women would be jealous of men. You're not a man. You can't do what a man do and consider yourself a woman. And I'm against brothers going out here whoremongering and all those things. But because God made things a certain way, so your enemy's God. Your enemy is the Most High. Your enemy is the Most High. Basically, because the Most High made certain things a certain way, that to her means we can play for Satan. That means this is why women doing what they do, because God made things a certain order, but we want to go to Satan and we want to be hoes and whores, and you're giving an excuse for these women. Lachelle says, so it's really right that y'all can have multiple people and be praised for that. Ain't nobody asking to be praised. Didn't we just do a whole topic about how noble of an act it is and how difficult it is? How much hard work it is? You should actually let's reiterate. Men should be praised for that. Men should be praised for having the integrity, having the wherewithal to lead more than one woman in this modern society where we being destroyed. Men who are willing to actually rebuild while it's a big depopulation agenda going on in the world. Men should be praised for it. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Men who take on more than one wife should be looked at as kings. It's a noble act in a society where you could just do anything. A man don't have to practice polygyny to have more than one woman. A man could be a whoremonger. A man could just be out here getting it popping with no type of discretion. A man don't have to take on multiple wives. It's noble for a man to do so. He could just continue to use you and ravish your body like the rest of these clowns out here, leaving you a fatherless, leaving you with a child with no father. They can continue to create bastard children and leave you alone to raise them. They can continue to add to the problem or lie to you and cheat on you. Yes, it's noble to be honest. Yes, it's noble to take on multiple women and lead them. It's very difficult work. It's not easy. I can tell you right now, having more than one wife is not easy, bro. It takes a lot of nobility. You got to be crazy out your head if you don't think it takes a lot. It does. But the reward is worth it, because the reward is generational wealth. The reward is family. The reward is having somebody you can entrust in to watch your children, instead of paying these daycares where these people are out here beating on kids and touching and molesting children. You damn right it's a noble act. Because either you part of the solution or you part of the damn problem. Somebody said there's so much anger. No, this is passion. This is passion. Not anger at all. I'm passionate about what I say because the mind frame of these modern women is sad to me. It's very sad. Somebody said polygamy is not God ordained, new breed. However, the order of man leading a woman is. You must be just joining. We went into various scriptures where the Most High God gives law regarding multiple wives. Lachelle says, and this is probably the last comment I'm reading from this sister. Lachelle says, women should not be out doing these things, but have to deal with multiple females around me. No, I can't. That's because you're selfish. And the same women who say they can't deal with multiple women around them, they have female friends. It just so happens your female friends ain't really about shit. Your female friends that you do have, more than likely, they run in the streets with different men, just like you. You can't deal with righteous women around you because you're not righteous. You can deal with wicked women around you because that's your fold. That's who you're comfortable with. You're comfortable around women who just sleep around. It's too much order for you to have sister wives. Birds of a damn feather flock together. Because if your female friends you have, which you do, all women have friends, some female friends, and you can be around them thoughts. You can be around them thoughts, can't you? Because you like their jokes. She says, I have no female friends. I actually stay away from women. Well, you keep the company of men then. And all that male friends, you got a lot of male friends. That's bullshit. You out here hoeing and thotting like the rest of these women. Period. Don't come comment in my section no more. Matter of fact, I'm blocking you. You don't have no fear. I can't be around women. Bullshit. You can be around women. You just around thoughts, or you're around a bunch of men because that's what you do. You know, a woman having a bunch of male friends, that's nonsense. You got somebody in your life. You got somebody in your life. That's for sure. And if you got a man, you wouldn't be up in here. If you got a man, you wouldn't be up in here arguing about polygyny. So you can save that. Tell me I'll be with my man. That's bullshit too. If you got a man, why the hell would you be in here arguing about polygyny? Make that make sense. You got a whole man, but you arguing about other men taking on multiple wives. And you expect me to believe that. Tanisha said, everyone is not going to receive what you are saying, new breed. Then they're going to spin and say you're angry. Everyone ain't interested in truth, bro. I don't care. At this point, it's entertainment. She said he got me watching you. Well, he need to be the one in the chat. He need to put a muzzle on you. He need to get you corrected. If he been watching me, brother, if you watching me, get your woman in check. Go tell her ass to sit down some damn where. If you been watching me, bro, and you put her on, come get your girl. Come get her. Man, goodness gracious. Man, it is what it is, man. I love y'all, man. I know sometimes I come across real brash, but I get passionate about this because seeing a Gentile sister bring out some truth that our women refuse to agree with, or refuse to even research, or refuse to even be virtuous enough to remain silent when they don't understand. It bothered me seeing that Gentile woman do that. It was like bittersweet. It was bittersweet. But we got, listen, our sisters got to do better. Somebody said New Breed went off on the track. I mean, on the chat. Hey, man, I had fun. I do have fun doing these broadcasts. For me, it's not always about everybody agreeing. But I do get frustrated when your argument is not even stimulating. That bothers me. I like to have both sides. That's why I'm going to bring Disagreement Day back up. Next time I talk about poly, I want to bring people in the chat to give you an opportunity to defend your beliefs or whatever. I'm going to bring that back because I like hearing both sides. But when people just say dumb stuff, that bothers me. Because it's like you ain't even putting no thought. Like, give me something interesting to respond to. Don't just be like, you lost because you lost. You say more than one woman. That's where you messed up. You know you fucked up, right? You know you fucked up because you said a man having more than one wife. Like that's boring. Like, at least come up with a argument. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, somebody said, yeah, bring Disagreement Day back. Yeah, with the Bible. I'm bringing it back. We're going to bring it back. Somebody said New Breed sure knows how to trigger half his audience. Oh, yeah. All praises to the God of Israel. I love y'all. If I got in your feelings today, good. Take it as an opportunity to do some critical thinking. Listen, more content coming. Follow me on Patreon. Follow me on Instagram. I love each and every one of y'all. Y'all have a safe day. Be good out here. Be good. I love y'all. Shalom and peace.